Yo, DT, you know what I just bought? And I might be the last person on earth, but I just bought an air fryer 2 minutes ago.
That was like, was that before COVID that became a big thing? Or was that during COVID?
Man.
I think it was during COVID, and I kept holding off. I'm like, there's too many buttons. There's too many buttons to learn and how to cook, but I've been sticking to a very strict diet as of late, and so everybody's talking about the air fryer, and I just see all these videos come up, like how simple it is to use the air fryer, so I think I'm ready to do it.
What kind of diet are you going to do?
I'm on just like single ingredient diet, so I only eat like hamburger 93.7. I only eat steak, sweet potatoes, cottage cheese, eggs, blueberries. That's the diet.
I'm starting that tomorrow, except I'm just doing carnivore, bro.
I love it. I've been seeing so much
it.
about the carnivore diet.
I'm
excited for it. You can eat like avocados and stuff with that, right? Like fruit and
I think no,
it's just meat.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you just gotta. It's like steak and eggs, man. Steak and eggs, chicken and eggs, pork and eggs, which isn't that big of a. I mean, who doesn't want to eat fucking ribeyes every day, right? I mean, come on.
I can't wait to see your grocery
smash
bill.
some guacamole on top of that too, though, man. I like some. I'm like over here. Which one would I want to go with? The carnivore or the one that Spicoli talked about? But air fryers are not real new. Man, my mom bought me one for Christmas like 15 years ago. The big one that you've seen on TV.
Yeah.
Now they've kind of gotten them down to where they're real compact and countertop friendly, I guess. So.
Dude, you can have an air fryer oven.
Yes, our oven has an air fryer feature. Matter of fact, French fries, it's definitely the way to go. I mean, it has changed our life as far as that because we're big burger and fry eaters. So,
is it healthier to use this air fryer?
All day.
They tell us that. I don't know. I mean, it
well,
doesn't matter.
You're
if it
not
gets
frying
within
your
a
food
foot
in
of my
deep fried
face,
grease, right? You know, so I mean,
that's true. This is true. Yeah, that is very true. So,
but it also doesn't taste like you're frying in deep fried grease either. So I mean, there's a catch to it, man.
Right. I don't smash my burgers out for a reason. I want that grease in there. You know, I'll get them real hot on the outers and let that stuff stay in. My wife, on the other hand, she wants to wrap it in a paper towel and squeeze all that shit out of it. I'm not that way.
Well, for anybody wondering, this is not a episode with a chef or a cook, as much as you may think so right now.
Rachel Ray's not here, yeah.
We got Russ on from Etched In Embers, man, today. I'm stoked to have you here.
Guys. Appreciate you guys.
Start the show. The Good Life with DT and Spicoli. Welcome to the Good Life.
You are now listening to the Good Life Podcast.
Good Life. Good Life. These boys are crazy.
You are now listening to the Good Life Podcast.
Good Life. What? A Good
We got
Life.
a big announcement. We got a big announcement with Etch, man. Whew. I am stoked
excited.
they're joining Good Life Records, bro. That is
let's go.
probably one of the biggest announcements we've had in a long time, dude. They are something else, dude. Spicoli, I've told you about
to be part of it.
It's amazing, man. I've told Spicoli about you guys in Des Moines, and my favorite story was standing there with Shim, and you guys loading in to be the first band, and you're like, yeah, we'll go first, it's fine. And I felt bad because you guys drove all the way you guys are from like the Ozark area, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're 5 hours out of Des Moines,
Yeah, they're like, yeah, we'll go first. And these guys start loading in on the stage, and dude, like, this was our final show of the run. And I mean, they're bringing lasers, they're bringing smoke machines, they're bringing all this shit. And Shim goes, did they bring their own light show? And I go, dude, they drove 5 hours, let them kill it. Dude, but I love watching a band that brings like a production like that, man. That your guys' production setup is very cool.
I appreciate it. We put a lot of work into that. We're actually, it's sitting right back outside the studio here. I'm getting ready to put it off because I know it's going to be a massive amount of work tearing it down and redoing it in a different form or version. So it'll be back to programming lights with sunglasses on for hundreds of hours. No fun in that, but it looks great on stage, you know. But to that point, when we walk in, we always ask, you know, the venue, the sound guy, specifically stage hand, you know, can we do this and try to clear it? So Shim was super cool about that, and everybody there was too, because we were 100% ready to roll without it. So we've been in that boat before.
Oh yeah,
that was a great show, by the way. I thank you guys for putting us on that, man. I was it was a bucket list deal for me for sure to play with Shim. Sick Puppies were huge to me. So.
Yeah, that was. I think That was Nice Enough Entertainment put that one on in Des Moines. That was Strawstone. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Got you. But
Yeah.
you guys were out there
We did the Council Bluff show, and then I think Strawstone booked the Sioux City Des Moines show. But pretty much it was like a copy and paste, except
Gotcha.
for Des Moines. You guys played, and I was
Yeah.
stoked that you guys played because I remember you guys hit
I
the
begged.
stage, and I was like, "Oh shit! Like this is some high caliber music right here, man."
I begged to be on that show, man. I was like, we'll do whatever we have to. You know, we want to be with bands we love, and the Impulsive is always somebody that we love to share the stage with, and they've been kind to us. We brought them down for the album release show back in December 23, so it's been a good relationship with those guys. I really appreciate and just a fan of the music and the talent on the stage. You know?
You've also shared the stage with one of Spicoli's favorites, man, Adelita's Way.
Boom.
Man, that was cool. I'm not gonna lie. Holy shit, dude! You know, we do ticket sale shows in some of these markets. Those tickets sold themselves. We didn't have to do anything. And I told them, I said, man, I said we were fortunate to be on there, and we weren't the first choice. We got referred by a band that they were going to bring in on it, and they couldn't do it. So we were appreciative. I think it was Troy that called us in and said, hey, they got the spot. So, but that show did really well. It's at the Riff, where we'll talk a little bit about that venue coming up on some things. But they're so good live. Holy hell. So good live.
Yeah, when you see Adelita's Way, like they're all in sync with each other, like everything just flows so well. You shared the stage with the Impulsive, Adelita's Way. I like the sound of all of this. For those who don't know Etched In Embers, how would you describe your band?
We are evolving still, I think. Always changing, always learning. When the band started back in, I call it a 2020 startup, but it was actually, the concept was in 2019 with Tyler on the drums, lead guitar player on the drums, and I had two other musicians, and we were just kind of trying to bring together some of the music I'd written in years past into a modern realm. I'm a little bit older. I'm not going to say my age, but a lot of people out there know we hit it forever because of the music industry. But my boy's in the band playing bass, if that gives you any indication. So that's always an aspect that we love to talk about, but we kept it secret for a long time because people thought we were brothers. But early on, it was just straight up rock and roll, kind of metalcore driven, but not with as much screaming and stuff in it. The first song I tried to send to radio was a song called Crown, and it immediately got compared to Bullet for My Valentine or Trivium. So we backed up, and we wanted to go to radio with a strong song, so we pulled back and did Sail the Silence with Chris Dawson out in Wichita area, and that was the first time we really felt that we had elevated to modern standards in our production and sound, and then we've just grown from there. With the addition of Josh on drums last year, the newer writing is a little more heavy metalcore driven. Josh is a great screamer. Chance was handling a lot of the screams of the band. I scream as well, but I split that with the singing, so sometimes those overlapping parts. I want to do everything we can live. So, we don't want to put a bunch of stuff on track. So now that we have essentially 4 singer-screamers in the band, it's really, and an amazing drummer. I think people are going to be blown away by it. Especially, I can't say too much, but we got songs coming really, really, really quick. And one of them is the solo. We talk about the Impulsive. My guitar player, Tyler Kenyon, and Adam from the Impulsive are two of the most stellar guitar players I've seen live. And I mean, that's major bands, local bands, regional bands, doesn't matter. And I'm so stoked for people to hear this solo Tyler wrote for this new tune. It is incredible. So I think we're a little more metalcore than we were hard rock, but we're still blending that. Happy Song obviously was not metal, but it had a metalcore breakdownish. Good Friends, that's a pretty straight up rocker. We went in and did that. That's the most recent release. Pretty much the way that we demoed it. No guitar solo in there, but it has the breakdown. So we don't even know what we are, Spicoli. We're the industry tells us what we are, and we just like okay.
Yeah.
But I think it's a world of producers, and the producers are shaping the sounds. And sometimes you lose a little bit of yourself, and you try to hold on to the parts that mean a lot to you. So we're still shaping, still molding. I think this is going to be the year that everybody hears what we're capable of.
Yeah, man. I will say I've seen it live, and it is very impressive. There's another. I'll compare you to somebody you have on Good Life Records as well as Names Without Numbers. They're one of those bands that you can watch and just like go, okay, they've got it figured out. They've got it dialed in live. I mean, you go watch them live, and it's just clockwork every time. They've got it figured out, man. And as far as your guys' production and the sound live, and I mean, your singing capabilities live are amazing, dude. I remember we were all standing in the crowd when you guys kicked off in Des Moines, and I was like, who the fuck is this, dude? Like, what is going on right now? And we were blown away by you. All of us were.
Well, I thank you very much, man. You always, we're just talking to our booking agent and talking about tour names and things like that, and album names, and self-doubt and burnout has been emblazoned in my head over the last probably since this band started. You just don't ever know what to believe in yourself, and to hear people enjoy and give us that feedback back. It's one thing that, we all pat each other on the back and things like that, but we really, really worked hard to build to where we are, and we knew we weren't ready when we came out in some of the environments we were in. We knew what we had to put together and learn to be the best we could be. And that goes from stage, load in, load out, all of it, the whole package. If you're going to be a touring band, it's not just playing well. It's being a good tour mate, being a good a proponent of efficiency at these events. And all of the guys and myself have learned and grown so much from that. So,
yeah, you kind of, what we've been learning from all these bands, it's like when you're like, this is a business, you got to kind of be the jack of all trades. And when you go on tour, it's like you have to be like part mechanic, part musician, part businessman. You learn so much about yourself and what it actually takes. Is there any bands that like you kind of learn from doing all this stuff?
We talk with bands and the struggles they face, and it's not hidden what we do face out there and travel. Like you said, the breakdown. We had a major, the first 2.5 week tour this band did was last year because COVID. We couldn't get out and run. I've played extensively over my time in music, but this was the first endeavor the band took out on the road. And 3 shows in, we have a massive breakdown in Denver with the van. We wish we were more mechanic. We have a boat mechanic that builds massive, badass 1,000 horsepower race motors, but we couldn't swap out a head and fix a valve in Denver with what we had. So you do have to be a jack of all trades. My biggest fight with that Spicoli was me knowing that wasn't just a singer or a guitar player in a band anymore. I was a entertainer on Facebook, on TikTok, on socials, and I had to adapt. I fought it forever. I still don't think I'm that cool. So it's hard for me to make a video and go, people are going to want to watch this. Sometimes you catch gold in those moments, and that's why we've learned to always have our phones out, always be recording. We like to laugh at ourselves, and we hope the fans do too. So we don't get too uptight about that. As far as the bands that I would really say I've learned from is the persistence fact of it, and don't. I see bands like Troy carving out their own way. They're not going to play the game with the music industry. Those guys have made an incredible. The last year and a half, 2 years, what they've done has been incredible on their own. They sold 16,000 albums last year. It's pretty incredible what they've done. So we're learning that side of it. But I know there's no one right way for any group of guys. I think it's always different, and you take advantage of the opportunities that are there. The one thing I'll say about this group of guys is going on tour, we all got along, even in the worst moments of the van breakdown, maybe thinking that the entire tour was going to be lost. We lost only one show, and everybody banded together. So that, and even our tour mates 1,000 Years Wide, they were just like, wow, most guys would have went home. So the perseverance and the persistence, I think, is what we looked at for in other bands, and the professionalism. You were right. Back to that, it's a business. 100% it's a business. I own another business, so my plate is full, but it is you have got to take it like that. We all want to have fun, but man, it is all business.
I mean, you guys broke down in Denver, though. I mean, of all places you could have broken down, you broke down in a pretty lucky spot.
Well, it was all right, but we were, we had to we rented a U-Haul because we had a show at the Rick House that night. So we rented a U-Haul to throw the guys in the back of the U-Haul in a box because we couldn't get a van, to pull the trailer. And it was a major, major deal. Thank God for Solomon and the crew at the shop there, because we were here in 2 to 3 weeks, and they did it in 36 hours. It was amazing. And but there was a Mexican joint right next to the hotel. That's all I needed. We spent a lot of times with margaritas and burritos, and stumbled back to the hotel. But no, it wasn't a bad place. And Josh has his family's there too, so that worked out really good as well.
I feel like a lot of bands break down in Denver. I feel like that's like that or Utah. Those are the two areas, man, where
The
like
elevation,
the bands
they
break
say.
down.
Yeah, that's what they said. Your vehicles will be tested coming through the mountains. And what's crazy is when they got that thing fixed, we literally hooked to the trailer and took a 18-hour test drive of that van through the mountains.
Oh man,
After, wow.
bet you guys were just no anxiety at all right there, right?
Oh well, we jammed music the whole way, and the because we stopped at the Colorado sign coming in, took pictures and stuff, and hung out. And van sounded fine, started right back up, and then as we hit the off ramp coming into Denver, it's like just shaking like rough idle. And we're like, holy shit! But everybody says your vehicles will be tested in the upper elevation, and we jammed music the whole way. We didn't listen to music for that 18-hour drive into Idaho, man. We were listening for that van. He was like, "Did you hear a poof?" And I'm like, "I didn't hear shit, man. These guys got the music so loud." So yeah, we're a little more dialed into the vehicle. We renamed the fucking van though after that because that's why it broke down. It's because I'm out doing something, getting gas, something, and I get in the van. They go, "We named her Thunder Pussy." And I'm like, we break down. We broke fucking down. So now it's Halen. Van Halen.
I like it.
Broke down
I
since.
like it.
Well played. I mean, talk about going through a lot of adversity, and these are the stories that we hear time and time again. But it either brings the band closer together or breaks you guys apart. And it sounds like you guys, it brought you closer together, and hopefully it maybe inspired a new song or something.
Well, I hope so. It inspired some nicknames. I know that for the bandmates and different things just over those times. But yeah, we have fun with the nicknames in the bands. I've got a bunch of them. Race Car Russ being the one that they go to because I drive that van around like a race car, and I get in trouble for it. So
I gotta ask: is everybody in the band, all you guys like do manual labor for a job? Like all work with your hands? Because all the videos I see, it seems like, are you a plumber? Is that what you do technically?
I do bathtub finishing. Josh is the
That's
plumber.
right. Okay.
So, yeah. We do. Chance isn't currently. He used to do what I do with me when he come out of the Marines. He's a former Marine. So when he came back, he went to work with me for about a year and a half, and we do bathtub repair and refinishing. So it's similar to a plumber, but I'm a surface guy. I don't do any plumbing work. So if you got an old green bathtub or shower, I can go and make it white in a day. And then I fix massive cracks in floors or walls where people punch them because they're pissed around the college campuses. I do a lot of that. Basketball-sized holes punched in walls. Oh my God! I did. A lady took a sledgehammer to a bathtub one time out on the military base out here because her husband came home from deployment and said he didn't want to be in a relationship, and she knew he would be in trouble if she destroyed the property. She took a sledgehammer to the entire property, including the tubs, and we see it all. We see it. It's unreal. And I can pull this shit out. I don't want to fix that, but they had me fix it. But yeah, Josh Plummer, Tyler does. I don't know. It's definitely manual labor. He's a mechanic, so I mean, there's a lot of labor involved in that.
Labor to me.
But I mean, they really build some of the fastest boats on the planet. The motors over there at HP Moffitt where he works. So, and then Chance is currently he's in the service industry. He's back at a place he managed for a while. So Rizzo's a little Italian joint. It's pretty badass food, really. Good place.
Hell yeah.
And everybody's cool with you guys being in a band and knowing, like, you're going to be touring, you're going to be on the road, you're going to need time to practice and all that.
Yeah, I own my business, so I'm fortunate, very fortunate. I feel very fortunate. It's the biggest struggle for all musicians that want to take it to the next level is working around that. Josh changed his damn job for this band. He got with a company. He was upfront about what he did. Josh's knowledge in the plumbing industry is very, very. He is good. He's good at what he does, and it showed in that video. Even how clean he does his work is impressive because I see a lot of plumbing work. But his boss was fine with it, so he changed a job there. Tyler's boss, he's kind of self-employed like myself, but he subbed with the shop. So they worked with it a lot. The only thing we had to work around at times was pro boat race season. So he would go across the country doing big boat races and the nationals down in Key West and Marathon, places like that. So that was a little bit tough, but man, it's been great. Chance, I think they're going to work. We got a pretty heavy year. I mean, this may be the most dates we've ever done if everything pans out right. So I think we're talking 70 plus dates maybe. So
damn.
That's where we're looking now, and that's going to kick off May. We've got May. I think we got a May run, a July run, September run, and a November run. Some of those are short, and then some of them are longer. But
I kind of want to dig into the whole Good Life Records thing for a second, man.
Absolutely. You guys need a timer. Tell me to shut up, man.
No, you're fine.
That's
you're fine.
another one of my nicknames. Ramble on.
We actually
Russ,
prefer
man.
it more when the guests just start talking about shit because we don't have to ask questions. We can sit back and our job's easier. So you're fine.
Well,
you keep going.
I try, man. I try. I just, but I do want to be respectful too, and not.
There's a certain amount of questions we can ask before we're like, all right, this podcast is over, man. So you just keep on talking. You make it easier on us.
Well, for you guys make it easy too, because man, I like it, and the chemistry for podcasters is important, man. It's huge because we do a lot of them, and we love the chemistry between the hosts. It's just awesome to see, and I'm glad the podcast community has grown like it has too. I think that's it's very informative to the people too.
Yeah, we're kind of a different kind of podcast. We gotta do shit most podcasts don't do. You know, we start Good Life Records and throwing concerts
and have events.
That's the coolest kind of podcast.
Giving away tickets to Stir Concert Cove to go see all these big bands.
Dude,
and shit.
That place is sick as shit, man. We drove by there when we were headed out for tour, and that is cool. That is a cool place. Wow.
Yeah, we're partnered up with them, so we got last summer we got to do some pretty cool shit. We got to go meet Beartooth, and we went to so many concerts last year.
Right, we were hanging out on the deck. You know, we were doing some backstage stuff, and you know, we got some extra interviews because of Stir Cove. So yeah, it's a really good partnership to be able to help spread the word on these concerts coming there.
That's awesome, guys.
The thing I wanted to talk about the Good Life Records thing was, you know, obviously our goal was, you know, we wanted to get a handful of bands from Omaha. You know, we were thinking, you know, a couple bands. I think last March. You know, Alieska, the whole thing popped off in Des Moines. I don't know if you know that, Russ. That at the Shim Show, that's when the whole thing popped off.
In the back lot or something was talked about or something like that, wasn't it? I believe.
I think you were out there maybe when we were talking about it.
Yeah, and when in show mode, I'm always running around. I don't even, you know, it's like I'm a troll out there fucking doing shit. It's like, it probably went over my head because I'm so damn short.
Yeah, it was Sean from Alieska talking about it, and we did it, and then we had Feel Good join, and Feel Good's an amazing band from Omaha. They're, you know, when we linked up with them, we're like, oh shit, we might have something here. And then it was Dream Aura, which is obviously the Impulsive Side project, and then Public Figure. And we had these 4 bands, and we're like, all right, we're good. And bands just started coming out and like, hey, how do we be a part of this? And I'm like, oh shit. And then we started landing some bands from Omaha that I think were pretty eye-opening that complemented the other ones. So that was goal 1. You know, we got, man, I could probably name them all off the top of my head, but it's so many. But shout out to every Good Life artist, man. I'll just say that. But
you have a great lineup, and I like the diversity and variety in it too, man. I'm big on that. I love bills that turn me on the new stuff, and I get just, you know, some of my favorite moments are watching bands that I didn't expect to see at a show. It's just really cool.
Well, most recently, yeah. So we had, you know, more of the harder rock bands. We had Impulsive join. When Impulsive joining was huge to me and Spicoli. I mean, we've loved those dudes, man. Spicoli's had a relationship with Shane for a long time.
Yeah, top tier guys there, man.
And Evandale joined. I mean, Evandale is amazing. The guitarist for Evandale, I would say that was in probably the biggest local band I've ever seen in my life called Vernaculus. So I mean, they owned. This awesome. City. It was. I mean, you're talking 1,500 person venue. This shit was sold out like fast, and they're high school kids, man. It was crazy.
That's impressive.
And then, you know, so whenever you made a comment on something and you put like about this Good Life Records thing, I was like, dude, if we get Etched In Embers, like this is really gonna light shit up right here, because that was step 2 was how do we start adding bands from outside of Omaha in different cities where we can start injecting something into that live music scene. And so my question is, I grew up in St. Roberts, Missouri, Waynesville area.
That is fucking insane, dude. That is my hometown. Waynesville, little town Lakeway, just outside it is where
I went to 9 miles High School, dude.
Are you fucking shitting me?
The Tigers, yeah.
What year would you have graduated?
Well, I moved here after my freshman year, so it would have been 03. But yeah, so I moved here my sophomore year of high school. So we left. My dad was a drill sergeant at Leonardwood.
Right on, dude. Right on. That's
So
all,
when I was in the
I was
Army,
born
actually-
in Leonard Wood.
Were you?
That's all. Yeah, I was born. I drove by that hospital on Wednesday. Yeah, I'm like, I wonder if they'll let me go see the room I was born in. They're actually talking about tearing it down or doing away with that facility. I'm like shocked. They just built a new hospital attachment there. I can't believe it if they do it. But
I've been stitched up in that hospital like 4 times, dude.
oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding, man. That's awesome. Small world. That is.
Yeah,
unreal.
man. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I used
that's
to
what
work at
do.
St. Robert's Walmart.
Really?
14 years old, I started working at St. Robert's Walmart, vacuuming floors when they had the smaller store. They had carpet underneath the clothing department, so I would go in there and move around the things and vacuum each night.
Dude, there was a pizza spot. Oh man, what was it called? It was
There's
like right
TK's
outside.
Pizza.
TK's Pizza,
TK's
dude.
Pizza.
They used to smoke cigarettes when they made the pizzas, dude.
Dude, oh my God, you're not joking. You're not fucking joking. There's so many, but everybody loved TK's Pizza.
It was so cheap.
Yeah, that's probably why. But yeah,
yeah.
My brother
Cigarettes
worked
were
at
the
TK's
seasoning.
Pizza for a period of time.
No shit.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, dude. So that's what. Anyways, let me get back to my question. But so obviously, I wasn't into the music scene back then, like in that whole area. What's kind of the music scene look like down in your area? You know, because it's going to be interesting because we're going to start pumping Good Life artists from Omaha down there with you guys. That's the plan.
Well, I used to have a lot of I used to do a lot of shows in St. Roberts because it was the area that they used to have a club out there called Rock and R, and then they built that place into a big place. They tore down the little one, built a bigger one. It's now a club rodeo. It's a country type of big dance establishment, but I used to throw my own shows and host my own deals and a little place called Annie Ruse, which is probably before your time being there. That we would put our own shows together. The music scene there is essentially covered. I mean, there's not a whole lot going on. Rolla was, S&T, the old UMR. We would do a lot of shows for the university up there. One of the bands that I started hitting St. Louis heavy was based out of Rolla. But as far as the music scene currently, I'm in Lake Ozark, which is about 30 miles north of St. Roberts. This is all cover band area. There's probably 30, 40, 50 venues. It's all cover band stuff. So our home market is Springfield, Missouri. So that's where we build it. And I'll be right up front with you. I think the Springfield music scene needs help. And it's not the bands. It's not the venues. It's just the culture, I think, there. COVID really hurt it, downtown area. So it's coming back. 10 years last night, probably had 200-300 people at it downtown. And that's probably a 500-600 cap room. But we've seen Nonpoint come in and played 80 people. Just this really weird ebbs and flows, but I'm working to, we've talked a little bit about what I'm trying to do down there too to bring something different, and we'll hit upon that. But now north of us, about an hour, is Columbia, Missouri.
Let's
their
go
music
Tigers.
Scene is thriving. Yeah, their music scene is thriving. They've got a couple bands up there that are doing really, really good. They've got the 2 Live Nation venues, Rose Music Hall and Blue Note, which that could go on in a different tangent about that. But it's kind of locked down for guys that aren't getting in those Live Nation shows. And, they take a big cut of that too. So it's Missouri has some amazing bands, but I think we're in a lack of venues to get those bands the space to play. I really do. So that's why we went out of Missouri, because it was tough for us to crack the nut with the promoters in Springfield because we're newer on the scene, even though I had bands in previous years play down there in different venues and stuff, but everything kind of changed, faces changed and stuff. Some of the promoters are getting run out by some of the Live Nation stuff. The small guys are not getting to build these shows and put them together, so we're having to pick at scraps. But so we went out to the Des Moines area because we had a drummer that was formerly from there and started kind of planting our seed there too. So we had Springfield and Des Moines to work back and forth while we kind of branched out nationwide. So it's in a rebuild phase, David. I hope that I want to work with you guys. I want to help the music scene in Missouri by way of your guys' roster list and show trades and builds and things that help us down here that can bring you great bands and different things too. So thinking on the bigger picture.
That's what I was kind of wondering. I wonder if Etched in Embers isn't the only one down there that's got something to talk about, man. We'll have
There's
to see.
definitely not.
Yeah, I figured there's some down there. Shaman's Harvest is from Missouri, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah, yes, they are.
I was that was my next question. Have you worked with them, or have you shared the stage with them? Have you ever reached out to them to try to open up?
I have played quite a few shows with Shamans. I used to play in Columbia 4 nights a week at a little place called Mixers downtown. Shamans was just getting started. my old band Mind Riot would go up there from Wednesday to Saturday and play shows each night. We were kind of the house band, but we would we were doing our own original music with a bunch of covers. That's the first time I met them. And they've evolved over the years. Their drummer was originally, I think, from Camdenton. His mom's a teacher at high school or something like that. Some of those details can be mixed up because it all comes to me through others and whatever. But
Yeah.
it got to the point where I brought Nate in on several shows, just himself or him and his brother, and did acoustic shows with them. Because
You telling me you have a personal relationship with Shaman's Harvest?
Yeah. I did a bunch of acoustic shows, just me and a guitar with Nate.
Wheels are already turning for a Good Life fucking
Yeah.
event in Missouri.
The dude, yes, yeah.
Because me and Spicoli
And,
both love Shaman's Harvest.
Oh, dude, and my buddy from Troy, because I mentioned them, because I looked up to him. I booked those guys so many times, did tons of shows with my previous projects, done a bunch of shows with them at EIE. He played, Troy, lead singer of Troy, plays bass for Shaman's Harvest now. So it all kind of just closed into the circle of people. Now we're a little heavier than them, but we do go back to our roots, rock roots at times too. So, but they're super talented. They work with Kyle, our producer down in Nashville.
You figure if we got Shaman's Harvest, Etched In Embers, Evandale, and Impulsive down in Columbia, Missouri, man, that is a badass lineup, dude.
Yeah, that's a show people must see.
And this is why Spicoli gets fucking pissed at me, because you'll say something. I'm like getting to work. I'm like, we're gonna book Shaman's Harvest now, and he's like, God damn it, David, slow down.
I'm taking notes over here. Yeah. No, I'm
Usually
down to
by the
make any
time something
connections.
happens, Spicoli's like, so what's the plan? I'm like, oh, I've already booked it. He's like, what? I'm like, it's already done, dude.
Yeah, let's put our heads together. We'll make something.
Yeah, that
happen.
would
Cool
be
with
a
that.
really cool idea. Yeah, because Dragonfly is probably one of my favorite songs ever, and their cover of fucking Dirty Diana. they do. Oh man,
Nate
Yeah,
walked
dude.
in on me one time doing a cover because he was late to we had done sound check and I'm like, don't tell Nate I played this, and he comes because I covered Dragonfly. He comes into the bar, I'm fucking playing their song, and he's gonna play it later, but I was trying to sneak it in there. So, but
Yeah, they just dropped a new
I
song.
really love
It's
those
called like
guys.
Rock and Roll Queen, if memory
Yep.
serves me right. I was just listening to it yesterday. I was like, man, this is real. They still got it. They still got it, man. I love this band.
They're going to stick to their roots, man. I love that they are who they are. I love it. None of that modern conformity. We're here to do what we do, and that's something I've had to learn too. Is stand your ground, and if you have a vision, it doesn't have to be anybody else's vision. It can be yours, and it doesn't have to be the best. It just has to be your art. Is all it has to be.
Yeah, something that you kind of see from Jelly Roll, like there's a million different ways to win in this music business. And, being authentic and being yourself and putting yourself out there and really being passionate about the music. I mean, the dude's almost 40, right? I think, or close to 40, and he just blew up. And he's been at this for a long time, but it's a work in progress sort of thing. And he just stuck to who he was, and he evolved a little bit, changed his style up a little bit, and look at him now.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go to the UK. That's so cool, man. With Blacktop Mojo, that's awesome. Any band's bucket list to be overseas touring, that's just incredible.
You said you're going to the UK?
No, the Shamans is with Blacktop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
gonna-
definitely
you
going to
talk about
reconnect
age.
on this idea for sure. Yeah, I think we've been trying to get him on the podcast. Actually, when I think about it, we just haven't had luck. So,
He lives out in the woods, I think, and cuts wood and stuff. No, it's like the
Is he like a
Sasquatch
recluse?
mythical figure or something. I'm just kidding, just based off it. He just looks like a good old boy. That's my thing.
that's cool, man. That's cool. I had no idea, man. That's super cool. See, I see. We're just adding people to Good Life that need to be on Good Life. That's all it is.
You talked about age. Man, I'm 53, and I will die on stage. That's my. It's not my goal. But I'm just saying I don't want to ever give it up because it has been the only thing that's never left me other than my mom.
I can't wait for people who have heard this. I think you actually have a pretty good following in Omaha.
Yeah, I feel.
But for
like
people
we're-
that don't, and they probably just listen to this, they go 53-year-old, and then they come out and see you. We're not going to say when you're coming. It's already booked, just so everyone knows. There's something big coming from me and Mr. Spicoli over here. But
I'm excited.
I'm excited for people to see it, man. You guys absolutely destroy it live. I'm serious. I can't wait for Spicoli to finally get to see it. I've talked about you guys a ton to him. It's going to be amazing, man.
We try, and I take it seriously. I do. I mean, my health, my activity level, things like that. I know that I have to work harder than others to be able to perform at the level that I see these kids perform at, and I hope they respect me for who I am, and I just want, as long as I can stay at a level, I want to keep doing it until I can't. So.
Yeah, that's the main thing. It's like staying healthy, staying smart. Just staying active, because when, David's been hyping you up. So as soon as I'm going to be like, all right, let's see what they got. I want to see how hard they go, because, we've been around so many of these rock bands that are younger that bring it so hard. And then, the challenge is on. So I think you're somebody that I'm excited to see and find out how healthy you are when you get up on stage.
Damn it! Now I'm gonna have to.
Kind of like whenever I mosh pitted at Swaco, we found out real quick that I'm not doing that shit ever again.
David's not healthy all the way yet. David's got some more push-ups.
Oh my gosh! Some days I'm not either. It's like after this, I'm going to eat Mexican food. I'm gonna be just a TV watching fool the rest of the day, or sitting here at my audio desk. But
well, let's dig into. I know you got some things coming up.
Yes,
some cool
I
things
do.
on Springfield. I've seen the countdowns happening. The 5, 4, 3 on your Facebook.
Very unique show idea. I think it's unique, and the feedback's been great on it. If you're listening to this before February 5th, you're getting a sneak peek, because the official announcement will be made then. We're bringing a new type of show, a music competition event, to Springfield, Missouri, and we hope to take it a little bit further to the Riff venue. The Riff is the stage portion of the venue and the music area, and then they have this massive warehouse area that's all laid out like a backyard type of deal with yard games. So instead of a traditional battle of the bands, we wanted to find a way to integrate the fans into more than just a meet and greet. Come and take a picture with us, and we'll sign an autograph and stuff like that. Well, why not? Let's go hang out for a few hours in our backyard. I'm going to bring in some pulled pork and stuff and feed everybody. And we're going to hang out and do a yard game competition to see who headlines the show that night. So the bill's got 5 bands on it, and whoever those 5 bands wins that competition gets to headline that night. 5 to 6 events, things like cornhole, pickleball. They got this thing called foaling, where it's bowling pins, but you have a football, so you got to knock it down with football. Basketball Connect 4, free throw contest, golf simulator. So we got 6 events picked, and we're going to have each band in there. We're going to have fans come in, VIP tickets, a limited number for the bands to join the band's team. So each band will have 2 members of the VIP group on their team competing. And we're also getting Q102 to come in with a team. So all the DJs are going to come in and compete on a team with the bands, and to do a live remote from the show that day from 1 to 3. The events, the games portion will be 1 to 4. And then the winning band is going to get some spins on Q102 as well. So it's going to be
cool
fun.
as
It's going
shit,
to be a
man.
long day. It's going to be super cool. We've got some people coming in from Illinois for it. A couple bands out of St. Louis. I'm just going to drop the lineup. It's Fivefold, Discrepancies, us, Etched In Embers, Alborn, and a band called Hang Your Hate out of Columbia, who's been killing it up there. So,
Oh yeah.
Dude,
So
Discrepancies are sick. I love those dudes.
yeah, they blow the roof off every joint. So
Discrepancies.
I'm a fan.
Yeah. Look 'em up.
Antonio ATG did a feature on one of our early songs. I think it was our 3rd release, called Had Enough, back in 2020. And so he threw down 36 bars on a freaking, oh my God, it was badass. When we got that back to the studio, I was like, holy shit. But he slays it, and they just lift the roof of every place they're at. So we hope that we don't win the headline spot and have to go after them. That's all. So it's like,
Yeah, I
we
love
had to
it.
go
It's
after them down
competition.
in at the Dirty 30 in Mississippi, and they're great. I've been a fan, so stoked to have them on the bill. Fivefold, if you've not heard of them, incredible band. One of the biggest band in St. Louis probably currently, and they are just they write good music, good people, and they're excellent stage. It's a good live show. So, but I can't talk enough about all these. Any one of these bands could be the headliner that night. Discrepancies is playing before Alborn next week. So Hang Your Hate, Discrepancies open for Hang Your Hate, or not open, but played direct support to Hang Your Hate 2 weeks ago. These are all incredible bands. It's going to be a show. So we're going to have to bring our A game. That's all there is to it. Both on the yard games competition and on that stage. So
It sounds like I'm going to find out who Discrepancy is because I'm going down, Spicoli.
I love it. Yeah, you need to see Discrepancies. At my last radio station, we brought them a few times. They're really solid.
Where are they from?
Yes, St. Louis. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. The original members, Antonio and Garrett, I think, I think in their bio it says that they started sticking mixtapes or demos into bags at a fast food joint they worked at or some shit, man, and just blew up into this. They deserve all the accolades, man. They put in the work and have just really throw down some really, really great releases. So,
yeah, we're gonna
but
have
the live show,
get those guys on the Good Life podcast,
dude. Yeah, their live show is man, it'll hit you. It's good shit. So,
yeah. Are they heavy?
They have a heavy element, absolutely. I mean, some good breakdown stuff. It's rap, real rap rock. I think is how they tag it. And it damn sure is, man. Damn sure is.
Damn. I'll check them out when we're done recording here. I was about to go listen to them, but
yeah,
I don't want to play their music through here and then it gets copyrighted or something weird.
Yeah.
Damn.
But yeah, that's Band Olympics, man. That's awesome. And I can't say enough about, just to touch on the Good Life deal. We want to be a part of anything that supports musicians in the fashion that you are. You talked about the Patreon thing that you guys do and stuff that you're working on building for bands to help them out. I'm not coming here to take. I'm coming here to give and to help build what your dream is in conjunction with what our dream is. And I think that's why you have bands that are interested in coming to you guys, because if you see passion, you're drawn to that. And the supporters and super fans of music and bands, everybody has their favorite bands and so works for their favorite bands, does things for them. But very seldomly do you see a group of people that try to bring them under an umbrella and push that envelope forward. And that's an awesome thing. And I can't wait to see what we can help in doing that. And you're not that far away, and we're stoked that you brought us on, even though we're a little down south in Missouri. But I think that we could build a name down here for you too. So.
It's kind of the goal. Yeah, man, I appreciate that. That's like I said, I think I was more excited about you guys being interested. I think you were about me being interested. I've been interested since March of last year.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad that the universe brought us together, man. We were in a changeover. That was our second show we did with Josh. We were in a complete changeover. We had just got rid of the previous drummer. We played with Raw in Springfield at the Regency Live, and then we were doing the Shim show. So we were green to it with that lineup. We were nervous as shit that night because you just never know, man. So it's like, but
hey, real quick, sorry, aren't you guys playing in Lincoln soon?
We are. I'm glad you mentioned that. I didn't want to bring it up.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was thinking about
it's not terribly soon, but it's coming up. We are playing with Fozzy at the Royal Grove in Lincoln on May 3rd. So
okay, yeah, I thought it was March. Okay, May. Okay,
yeah, May 3rd. Yeah, so it's a little ways out there, and I think that we're going to be announcing another date on a Friday before that. It'll be on the other side of Iowa, but that weekend we should be up in your neck of the woods. So
I think you've also played with my first rock concert I ever saw, Flaw.
We did. We kicked off the tour last year.
Opening.
So. We didn't open. We played. We weren't direct support in the middle of the bill, but we kicked off in Des Moines last year on May 11th, I think, with Flaw. And you had a good good business talk with them. I love talking business with these guys, and so I had a good talk with them after the show. But yeah, we hopped on that bill and kicked the tour off there. So.
You guys get some good fucking opportunities, Russ. I'm not gonna lie to you, man.
Like Fozzy, Adelita's Way, Flaw. Like
I don't even know how, guys. I have no clue. We wanted to work with the best people and try to really swing for the fences right out of the gate. And I mean, we got to open for Bad Flower. I mean,
did you really?
Well, we didn't open the show even. We were kind of middle of the bill. But yeah, we played with 10 Years in Bad Flower up in Quincy, Illinois.
Did you meet Mike Russo?
I didn't meet anybody because I'm weird. I'm strange. I'm like this hermit. These bands. I'm so nervous to go talk to them. I don't want to be a bother to anybody.
So Alyeska just did a tour with Letdown not too long ago. The guy that played drums for Letdown, his main two jobs is he's the drum tech for Bad Flower and Ashes to New.
No shit. Well,
yeah. So I knew about the Bad Flower on tour, and then we got off tour and we had each other on Instagram, and I see him on stage with like Steel Panther and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
It's so cool. It's so cool how people are in these pockets of the music industry. A buddy, I used to play a little club out in Dixon, Missouri, like a tiny little town, just this little hick place right off the road. He used to come out. His wife worked the bar. We used to play shows there all the time. He just got to play guitar on stage with Mudvayne for a tour. He started getting into. He went to I think he went to Berkeley, and then he started building guitars. Was guitar teching, and he played bass for I think Green Jelly for a little bit. But then he started building guitars, and he's a Mercier guitars, builds incredible instruments, and he went on the road with Mudvayne. And that's like just a many of the list he worked with. Yeah. But lo and behold, they had a guitarist issue that they needed somebody to play, and fuck, he gets to play like 6-7 dates of the tour. I'm like, man, that's a long way from the stage out at Shaky J's. Holy hell, it's just crazy. I love it. I mean, it's like, what world do we live in? But
it's kind of like our buddy Christian Skirmont, man. We talk about him a lot of podcasts, but man, I remember he was just playing bass in a local band here, and then he joined the bigger band that was local here. Now he's I Prevail's tour manager, and it's just like, I think we ended up FaceTiming at our 1-year bash. We were a little inebriated, but we talked to him for a while. I think he wasn't even in the country, I don't think, man. But it's just wild shit like that, just how it all links. But I mean, really, that's kind of again the thought of Good Life Records, man, is that at any moment one of us can pop off, man. And if you're under that umbrella, you've got the connections right there in your umbrella. So I mean, why not share with each other what you're doing and see what you can do together?
Then that's the thing, is you draw attention to the bigger picture. You know, if any of these bands, ourselves included, can work on our end to elevate ourselves, it helps everybody around. You know, I always hear that it's not a competition thing. Unfortunately, it is, because there's only so much. There's only so much shelf space in the convenience store for the sodas you want. You know, it's very, very difficult. There's so much music too. It's like. To break out is so incredibly difficult, because there's just so many great artists, and making your own music is a lot easier than it used to be. It's not, we don't have to go to the big guys anymore. We still do, because we trust the process in them and their intelligence on what should work and what does work. Yeah. But I always tell myself, I know nothing. I can have strong opinions and I can try to remain myself, but I don't know the answers to the bigger picture. So
yeah. And also, and I mean, that's kind of, we've got 12 bands now, and we have different pockets of genres that you can play with cross genres if you want to, but so we've got like Kevin McClure and Virgin Mary that, will link up really well together. And then we've got Feel Good, Public Figure, Alieska, Arcade Riot, Names Without Numbers that are pop punkish, kind of, and then you've got the hard side with Evandale and Etched In Embers and the Impulsive, and then Dreamore is kind of in the mix of them all, where they could just go where the fuck they want. So it's kind of the fun thing right now, right? Is that you could just be like, hey, if we wanted to book a hard rock show with Good Life artists, you can do that. If you're like, we want to do a cross genre show, you can do it. So it's kind of what's awesome, fun with it. You can just share fans and just gain new fans out of it. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I'm big on variety, and I'm not. We've got 5 songs ready for the next album. We're hoping to drop it late this year. Hopefully a 10-songer. My intention is to write something different than what I am writing, pop punk type stuff. I write all kinds of shit. Whatever I feel like writing, I'm now writing again. That's what I used to do. I got out of that with EIE because I felt like we were trying to be this band. But I've written country tunes. I've written pop punk stuff. And you may see some of that blend into the EIE world, where it kind of mixes up what this new album sounds like. But I do think that the strongest point is going to be the heavier edge of it. But I love the pop punk stuff. Josh loves the pop punk stuff. We listen to so much shit when we drive out to shows and on tour. It's like, wow, what are these guys listening to? There's a variety going on in that van. So, which I think you have to do.
What's your most listened to thing? What, like if you got in your car and put on your Spotify right now, what would you be jamming to?
Man, I went through a crazy Don Broco stage here just recently. Okay. If you've never listened to them, check them out. I was listening to them nonstop, and it was to get myself off of the metalcore. Everything sounds the same thing, because unfortunately, that's I think where we're at. It's just another metalcore song. There's not a whole lot that's not been done. You have to do really silly things or crazy things to break out, and I don't know that I want to do that. I don't want to do something that I don't know. I want to feel good about everything we do, but I don't want to be a character that I'm not to to try to win fans. I don't know. It's just hard. It's a tough line to walk. You're being pulled so many different directions. But as far as listening, if I told one person what my favorite band of all time was, it'd probably Rush. I mean, I'm just, old school Rush. I mean,
I
that's
got to see
incredible.
them live, so I'm happy.
Are you fucking killing me? Oh my God.
Do you want to hear something
Wow.
really that's going to piss you off though? Is at the time I didn't like Rush.
Oh, well.
And I got hammered drunk, and then I'm sitting in the stadium, and Neil starts drumming and doing a solo, and I'm like, "Yo, dude, Rush is fucking sick. Like Rush is so
It took
good."
you to get drunk to like him.
Well, I mean, you got to think, man. I was born in '84. You know what I mean? So it's kind of one of those things. The only song I really knew was Tom Sawyer.
Yeah.
And then when I saw them live, I was like, "Yo, these guys are amazing." And I think they played the entire album with Limelight on it, front to back, when I saw them.
Right on. Yeah.
So,
Are you still got me there? There we go. That's my headphones popping out. They. I had a buddy that was renting an apartment below my mom and I, where we lived in a house. It was an apartment we made down below, and he was a huge Rush fan. That's who I credit with getting me onto that. But I had a 3-piece band called Mind Riot, which was named after a Soundgarden song because I was a huge Soundgarden fan. And we did like 5 Soundgarden covers and stuff. But that band played anything from Rush. Being a 3-piece, it was weird. And ironically enough, my bass player looked exactly, and I'm not kidding you, exactly like Geddy Lee.
really?
But he didn't sing. I sang. But we did shit from Rush to Pantera to Prong. It was such a wide variety of music. So it just, I don't even know who I am. When I sit down to write, I don't even know, because there's so much in here, and I love so much of it that I don't know that I necessarily try to pull from any one area. But yeah,
I feel that though, man. Me and Sean from Alyeska have having. He's they released their 4 songs last year that they did in Nashville, and he's really kind of been like, man, like I don't know what I want to release, and so he kind of just took a break, and he's been reading a ton of books, and he's saying it's given him inspiration, and I can't talk too much on it, but he sent me something last night, and it almost has a country vibe to it, like a Mitchell Tenpenny vibe to it.
Wow.
And I'm like, all right, dude. Like, but it's good. So it's
Right
cool
on.
to see people like go outside of what you think they are. So I feel what you're doing. Yeah, man. I'm excited to hear what you guys come out with.
I don't know, because I do solo stuff too. We got a couple solo. Anybody in this band could write and release their own stuff. Everybody's talented, extremely talented, and we're all working with similar dolls right now. Chance is doing his own thing inside of a mind. Tyler could be an instrumental. I mean, he's got an incredible voice. But his guitar playing, he could simply write instrumentals and do incredible. But some of it's going to come out under my solo stuff too that doesn't make it to EIE, just because I've got to get this music out. I mean, that's 100 plus songs sitting in a binder here with parts recorded on cell phones. It's just, when you look back on what you leave this earth, man, that's when it becomes kind of terrifying with how much time you have left. And if I could sit right here every day of the week rather than make money, then you'd get all kinds of songs from me. But I'd start singing about needing food and stuff at some point, because that's what I'd be.
You need those burritos.
Yeah, it's like
Hit up
I can't
Spicoli,
afford
he can throw some in the
anything
air
'cause-
fryer.
Hell yeah.
Wolfgang Puck over here with his air fryer.
That
I'm ready.
It cooks stuff fast, and it makes it pretty easy. And like I said, I hated it the first thing we got because it was massive. It was difficult to clean. It had this big glass deal and stuff. And you set this basically halogen light, it looked like, on top of it with an air circulator, and it's like, what is this contraption? But man, it made some badass turkeys and shit, and you could dehydrate food and stuff. And, yeah, it's good stuff. But
Oh man, bro! I can't tell you how excited we are that you guys are a part of Good Life Records, for what you guys have coming up in 2025. I can't believe we're in 2025. We've got some big announcements we're about to make with you guys. Yeah, man.
We didn't know we were going to be here in 2020. We thought it was all over, man. It's like,
Yep.
Got to make the most of it now.
oh man, yeah. Speaking of age, that's where I'm at. I was a dad. I'm a grandpa. Or I am still a dad and a grandpa. That didn't stop. But I'm here to make the best music I can in what time I have left and touch as many people as I can. So I appreciate you guys giving us an outlet for that, an avenue for that. So I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited.
We're excited for you to experience a Good Life show.
Hell yeah.
I'm excited about that.
That's
I'm
going to
excited.
be a
Just
good
saying
time.
it just sounds good. Yeah. So
The Good Life show.
I wish
Who
we
knows?
could. We could talk about all that everybody wants to do. I wish all of our dreams were real right now. guys. That I hope this year is everything you want. That's what I hope for everybody.
Until the midnight hour. All the way, all the way.